Young love this day, it's completely dead. It doesn't exist. You can't fall in love as a youngster. But then you have Kamala Harris, and she is much older. In her 50s, she found what she feels is the love of her life, and that's her husband, Doug Emhoff. I'm going to look at Doug Emhoff now and who he really is. What's the background to him? Who is this potential first gentleman? Oh God, it's very confusing. But the reality is, he is going to be that second gentleman someday, if she succeeds and continues to succeed in politics. He gives, number one, loyalty to her. Let's break it down. Who is Doug Emhoff and his relationship with Kamala Harris? Well, Kamala Harris herself admitted that in politics, as a female, and as a female who comes from a mixed race, that it's really, really difficult to actually be in the dating game, be in the regular dating game. Think of Tinder, think of online dating, Plenty of Fish, all of these things. For a person who was rising up the political ladder as a female, as somebody of minority mixed race, it was very difficult. Her background meant that as a child, an adult child of course, of a mother who was from South India and a father who was from Jamaica, there was that mixed race going on. With all that has gone on in America, even throughout her early years under the Joe Biden ticket of democracy for the presidency of America, with all the Black Lives movements and all those things going on and racism and so on, this was difficult. You can imagine how difficult it was for her to rise in that way. But as a single person, she said that it was very, very difficult to conceal that love life, and if she went out with somebody, the papers, the media would be all over it straight away. So she had to be sure of somebody, and that's where this loyalty comes in from Doug Emhoff. Doug Emhoff, on the other side of things, was actually married first. He was married and had 2 children before he actually met, or even went out with, of course, Kamala Harris. One was Cole, a male, and Ella, a female. And believe it or not, even though their names are Cole and Ella, they were called after jazz musicians, John Coltrane and Ella Fitzgerald. So obviously, Doug Emhoff has that interest in jazz that's really well liked, and not just him, but his ex-wife, who, by the way, was very, very successful in her own right with her own companies. So they actually had an amicable enough split. Now that's very easily said and done, considering Doug's profession. Why? Because Doug was a lawyer, and is a lawyer. In fact, when he started off his law firm back in the early 2000s, 2000 exactly, he was loyal to his friends and people that he actually worked with, other lawyers. And with that, they continued to prosper. And it wasn't until 2006 where they had prospered so much that they decided to sell their law firm. And in it being sold, he continued on and worked with them until 2017. So he made his bobs, he made his money back then, prior to meeting his dear wife, Camilla, in 2013. In 2017, he went and joined in a partnership as a partner with Pepper, the lawyers in America. Now he's licensed to practice law in Washington DC and in Los Angeles. And prior to actually the whole presidential campaign, 2020, he was splitting his time between the 2 places. But then he took off to show that loyalty, took off full time from his law career to show that loyalty to Camilla. Now that loyalty has been shown throughout his life with regard to his parenting. And as I said, those 2 adult children, who Camilla absolutely adores, by the way, comes from this harmonious relationship that he has with his ex-wife, and the children, the adult children now, Ella and Cole, have with him. Ella, who started off working in and becoming trained and skilled in design, and Cole, who started off working in, believe it or not, the entertainment business, perhaps showing his loyalty to what his father, Doug, shows in his legal work. Because even though Doug is a legal master, he actually works in more so the entertainment business and defends and helps clients and so on in the entertainment business. In fact, one of his first cases that Doug got involved in, it really kick-started his whole legal career in the entertainment business, was helping out Hollywood Video against a legal dispute they had with Fox News and that Fox channel. So you can imagine how seriously he's going to dip his toe in the entertainment industry, and suddenly it's going to balloon, even mushroom after that because of the success up that hierarchy that these particular entertainment brands essentially are in. So from there he became very famous. In fact, he earned a lot of money in helping out a taco company, yes, for those lovely Mexican foods. And it went into the millions. There were 42 million or something on the table, crazy amount of dollars that was going over and back legally. So he was at the middle of that, and I'm sure he got well fed too. But his loyalty comes from different ways and is shown in different ways too. As said, not least in the fact that through the 2020 campaign, with regard to the presidential campaign, he was by the side literally of Camilla. But Kamala Harris and Doug Emhoff have shown and seen the different light of this. And one of the loyal things that Doug showed was that when Camilla had the opportunity to speak on stage at one stage, an animal rights activist jumped on stage and tried to interrupt and talk about what they were talking about. And this, of course, naturally enough, threatened Camilla. It probably didn't do too well with regard to the perception of other people watching her on stage. And so what did Doug do? He was, first of all, there, which we've seen in a lot of Hollywood movies where parents aren't there, they're divorced and so on. But he was there, and his children and so on. There was this family gathering, and he actually apprehended the gentleman, the animal activist, and took him off stage. So there was that loyalty, that protection. And he's shown that with his children as well, because the children, believe it or not, they don't have any and didn't have any kind of blockage with regard to Camilla. In fact, they thought about just calling her stepmom. Now, even though they had their own mother who was alive and well, and getting on well in a kind of friendly or parenting manner with Doug, they decided they didn't want to call her mom, and her name is Camilla, but at the same time, they didn't really want to call her Camilla. Now, Camilla herself has come out and expressed the fact that she loves what they came up with and how and what they called her, and it reflects their relationship with her, and it's called Mamilla. So it's a combination of Mom and Camilla. Mamilla, it's a good one. But she has said that she was hooked on Doug straight away because of the loyalty that he showed essentially at the beginning. And it was Ellen Cole that just reeled her in off that hook, like a fisherman, essentially. But in the first date, when they met, how did they meet then? How does loyalty start? How do all these wonderful things start? It started in Doug's office because a PR consultant who was best friend of Camilla actually basically set them up and said, hey, do you want to go on a date with a friend? And her name is Kamala Harris. And of course Doug was like, whoa, and he was like, hold on. He couldn't actually withhold his affections because he was like, whoa, she's hot. He had seen her on television. And he expressed that. He said, she's hot. She's really, really attractive. So the date was set. They exchanged numbers. Before the date though, Doug's loyalty nearly pushed him over the edge. He got excited and he contacted her. Yes, indeed, he contacted her. He went first of all to a Lakers game because he is loving of sport. Went to his LA Lakers game in his adopted city of Los Angeles because he was born and brought up in New York side. So loyal to the core to his adopted city, he was at the game, he was excited, and he texted her. He said, hey, I can't wait for this date and all this. And of course, he realised maybe he shouldn't have because he was just so excited. Next morning, he was ready for the date. What did he do? He rang her. He rang her. Most people would say that's not good, and it wouldn't work out. He rang her, and then once he left a message, because he had to leave a message, good. She then actually was kind of holding this over him because he actually felt like he bungled it and messed it up. And for years after, every time there's an anniversary and there's a loyalty again, she brings this out, this combined, this message combined with the love and loyalty that's been shown every year at the anniversary. But that's not the only way that Doug is loyal and showing his loyalty. He's also loyal in the fact that along the campaign train for 2020, he became friends, bros they say, with another spouse because Doug himself needed some support. He was supporting her, Camilla. So he got support in the way of another politician's spouse. He became loyal and friendly with Chasten Buttigieg. Chasten Buttigieg is the spouse and husband of Southend Mayor Pete. So Chasten and Doug, they just start up this kind of friendship, and this has been proven. And the loyalty that Doug showed is shown in tweets all around the place, where he has defended him and been, again, loyal to him. Another way that he's shown this loyalty is with Doug's own father. Yes, his father. Back when he was starting up his law firm initially in 2000, and before he went to Pepper Law Firm back in 2017, he and his fellow lawyers were kind of decorating the office, and they decided, well, what we put in the office, will we put, expensive artwork and so on. And instead of putting expensive artwork, Doug insisted that he would support his father, who was then an artist. So he used his father's artwork and put it around the walls of the actual law firm offices. This showed his loyalty. This showed his insistence to be devout to people that he's really close to. This shows the harmony that's within his relationships with his ex-wife, with his son, with his daughter, with his now wife, and as I said, his father. So he's willing to take off work and give up a career to have those that he's loyal to. It just shows really the quality of the guy, it seems. I've asked others what do they think about loyalty and so on. And this is what has come out of it all. Until next time, have a wonderful day, and make sure to subscribe if you can. And, well, just keep loyal, keep happy.